Do you like being deliberate creator? Are you on the verge, or have you moved into the understanding that this is a vibrational universe in which you live? Do you accept that through the directing of your thoughts that you focus the energy, that's how you create? Does it please you to know that knowing what you don't want helps the process? So does it make you want to be a little more patient with yourself in the interim before things manifest? Are you approaching the willingness to want to go to the vortex for the feeling of it rather than for the manifestation of it? Because once you get there, once you say, my vortex is my objective, because there I am whole and therefore feeling good, and then I will focus specifically. Now you are really a powerful, deliberate creator. And here's why. People often think that it is the setting of the goals that is the creative work. Well, the creative work happens when you're in the middle of a relationship that's no fun. That's when you put more fun. The creative work is when you're sifting through what you don't want, knowing what you do want. In other words, the creative work is the sifting, sorting process. That's the creative work. You've done it, 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 you've done it. The creative work is there. Then people think, oh, I have to get really specific about this thing that I want. But when they're really specific, when they don't have it, what do? They hold themselves away from it. You follow that, don't you? We've been talking about that all morning. So when they're not in the vortex and they're really specific about what they want, I want this person to be this tall and have this much money and have this color of eyes and to call me this and to do these things and to have this agenda and to have this heart. When you're saying all of those things and you're not in the vortex, but you're being specific because you think you're supposed to be specific, because that surely must be what deliberate creating is, you just hold yourself out there, having more experiences you don't want, more experiences that you don't want. Too specific. But then you get general. You quiet your mind. You bask more. You have a massage. You put your feet in the water. You pet your cat. You listen to the meditation CD. You listen to music. You do more of those things that ratchets the specifics down. So you're more general. And then you flow right into the first lock of the vortex canal. And now, when you think about what you want, you do it because it feels good to think about what you want, not because you're trying to be specific in order to make things happen. Can you hear the difference? Now you're talking about it because it feels good. Now you're talking about it because you can't stand not to talk about it. Now you're talking about it because it's who you are and it's what's showing itself to you. Now you are going with the flow of it. Are you following what we're getting at? This is such an important distinction. You want to get into the vortex and then be specific. So the rule of thumb has always been, be as specific as you can be and still feel good. And when you're not in the vortex, you can't be specific at all and feel good. But once you get into the vortex, that's when you want to start talking about it. Jerry and Esther will get into a moment in time where they're feeling so good, where something that has happened is feeling so good, and they will just milk it and milk it and milk it and milk it. Anybody listening in would think they had lost their minds, because it feels so good to just keep reiterating over and over and over again how much I love you and how good life is and how fun this is, and wasn't that good, and did you hear what she said, and did you see the look on her face when she said it, and did you see the look in his eyes when he heard it, and did you see how we all laughed when we did it, and do you remember what it was like when we were floating on that river, and do you remember the river guide and how clever he was, and brought us right up to the edge, and I climbed right out on the boat, and the sloth was hanging right down in a branch, and I looked at him and he looked at me, and he moved his head and he moved his arms so slowly as if to say, I love you too. Jerry and Esther have had that conversation 15 or 20 times since they had their up close and personal relationship with the sloth on the Amazon River in Costa Rica. In other words, they just keep milking it and milking it and milking it and milking. Eric was the man who could who was driving the boat, and he would bring it right. He would say, "Can you see that crocodile?" "What crocodile?" He would put his laser beam on it, and he would shine a light right on the eye of the crocodile, and then the crocodile would look at them, and they would look at it, and it would look at them, and they would look at it. Just milky, magnificent moments. You see what we're getting at? Do all of your offering of consistency and of focusing once you're sure you're in the vortex, and watch the power and the leverage of the energy that creates worlds help you manifest anything that you want endlessly, eternally. Good time for a segment of lunch.